Salute Riz. CJ, what up? The CJ, you're not early. I'm late, which I guess kind of equals the same thing. Yeah, you're not early though. I'm late. I'm quite late. I'm like 50 minutes late. I'm disgustingly late. But today was one of those days um, that caught up to me, and it's still doing its best with my ass impression. So again, apologies to let me look you in the face when I say that. Apologies to the room. My bad. Do I have one? Do I have one? Yes, I do. Now that I see that the room is active, just gotta straighten up my station. This bud's for you, brothers and sisters, mothers and misters, bunyies and blisters. I'd like to welcome you to the garage, home of the worldwide mechanics. I'm your lead mechanic, Mike Rashawn. Before we even set it off, you know how we do things. Like, hype, subs. That's the best way to show your boy love. In the meantime, in between time, get on in here, get your tool belt, get your coveralls, get this thing on the rack and see where we at. Um, welcome everyone to the room. close to 6 seems to be jumping a little bit. I might have to. I didn't adjust my time. I didn't adjust the time I come live because I got mechanics in the UK and they are 5 hours ahead. I want them to be able to catch these lives. Um, yeah, I'm with you, B. Work be whooping that. Yeah, price of being an adult. Dwayne, you ain't never lied. Shout out to all the mechanics filing in the room. One time to CJ, uh, Big Sugar, of course, Dwayne, Jig Holly. What up, Brody? Good to see you. And anybody else lurking up in the room who doesn't feel the need to say anything yet, it's all good. Sin Survival Universe. Salute. What a name. Sin Survival Negativity. Now, that's a name. That's what you call yourself there. Executive Coaching for Peace. Salute. Thank you for pulling up. Riz Lyricist, of course. Salute. Thank all you guys. Charlie Hustle. One time. One time. Um, yeah, man. Hey, you ain't never got to thank me for telling the truth. One time for the room. Oh my God. Outside of, for me personally, like it's hip hop in no order. Like hip hop and water is one of the best inventions God has ever given us. It's right up there with like rap and vagina. For me, for me, definitely top top three. Just. Sean Capri, what up? Just. Yeah. No, Cole, not right this second. I need the fact that Just is like bullying the room already. All right, one time for Just, aka Just McDuck. Just slowly but surely, this one person is working me towards this new laptop. Like dead ass, 100%. She is like pushing to get this show where it needs to be. I can't with her. I can't before say what again mother even pulls up and acts a fool. Just starts off with the uh don't even say nothing. Shut up. Everybody shut up. Like it's Water is life. Yeah, that's why they put it in everything. I'm with you, just not enough of the good stuff. Oh man, guys, I'm gonna tell you how big of a water fanatic I am. You see the size of the jar I'm drinking out of. I haven't even finished the bottle that I got, and that's 100% gonna happen. But I ain't even finished the bottle that I got before I went and got more, knowing that I was gonna sit down and start chopping it up with y'all. Um, you should drink water every day. Like you're not hydrated. Let me see you drink a whole bottle. I mean a whole gallon of water. Yeah, yeah, Robert, I'm with you. I probably do about a gallon a day if I'm being honest, because I go through like maybe 5 or 6 of these um, to the lip. Like I pull these up to the lip. Um, yeah, I probably do like 5 or 6 of these. So I'm probably on about a gallon. Hey Mac, can't watch the show this evening. As we have already storm in the Twin Cities. I have to switch my phone power. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. 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 No. Just please be safe. Whatever's happening out there, go and shut it down. For the evening. No, we all. You know what I'm saying? We all got you on this side, but shut it down. Stay safe. But just because you said that, you understand. I'm gonna need you to check in them all and make it a point to let us know that you good money. That this was all water under the bridge, and you pop back in. Um I'm gonna need you to pop back in and let us know that you good money. That's a deal. If you can make me that deal, and you can go ahead and sign off now. But right now, everybody throw one up for just one time. Just making sure she's good. Shut down. Storm ain't nothing but a little bit of water. You be just fine. You know, been through them before. One time for just. And she'll see this if she's already shut down. Hopefully she'll see this. But I don't like to hear that. I don't like to hear that. Y'all know what it is in here. Like we kick it in here. Like we yeah. One time for everybody in the Twin Cities. Um, we kick it in here. Like you know. Pardon me. I know y'all are a room full of like little lines popping up on a box, but feeling like we know each other in here a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see nothing happen to that girl. Feel like y'all. I ain't gotta say it. Y'all see what it is. Yeah, everybody in the Twin Cities be safe. Um, Prince Spider, what up, Mac? When can we expect new music from you? This year. This year. This year. I'm planning on starting the recording process next week. So by winter, actually by fall, if I have it my way, by the end of the summer, I'll have 2 albums done, and it'll just be a matter of getting all the logistics together and then picking and choosing what we're gonna drop. Um, DJ all day, cold spring water. I'm down. Oh, Indonesia. Shout out to Indonesia. Please, first of all, thank you for joining us. Second of all, go and subscribe, man. Become a mechanic. I want to be able to say I got folks in Indonesia. Go and lock in with us. Gabriel, what up? Michael Brown, what up? Just making sure I ain't miss nothing. Yeah, just you be extra safe. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Independent strong man. That was super stupid. That was stupid. Like you really don't know what we do around here. That was dumb. That was extra dumb. Um, I feel like you're gonna have Beans and DJ Scratch on your album. Super random, but I just have a feeling. I'm gonna have less features than you think, and probably a couple that you don't expect. Let me see. Let me see. Rap wise, the features are one, two, three, four, four. I have 4 rap features on the first album. On the second album, there's one, two. Whack ass handle being here every day trying to get kicked out. I don't understand. I can curse. We all grown. I don't understand being on my dick that much. Honestly, CJ. I mean, but you know what? He would kill me. He would honestly kill me if he was. He would honestly kill me if I put out an album, my first joint, and he wasn't on it. Like if he wasn't on my first album, he'd kill me. He would seriously take it personal, and I would totally understand that. He would want he would want my head on a pike if I did that. And oh no, CJ, she got two. She got two bodies under her belt. We only been in here 12 minutes. She got two bodies under her belt already. Might be three. I might be mistaken. That might be the third one. That might be the third one. Might be three. Right, Sean? I'm saying that might be three. I'm pretty sure she got one. She got one out the paint early on. Who came in here talking reckless? That might, or maybe they're all just running together because she constantly has the thing off safety, and I could be bugging. Could just be two. Could just be two. Not that it matters to them. They're all in the same place. Yeah, no, she let it fly, bro. She let it fly. She does not play about this room. She does not play about us. That's why she's perfect to be in charge of the clapper. She has no qualms about this room here and the people in it. I'm just the guy on camera, but like she care about everybody in here. I firmly believe that if somebody was in here getting reckless with anybody else in here, B would let them have it. B would let him have it. I'm not. I don't have any doubt in that. B would let him have it. Quick, quick. You might not even notice that somebody was in here talking reckless about you because she get to it that quick. Like B would let him have it. She got a sixth sense for ish talk. It ain't gonna go but so far. Anyway, moving from the bozos. Um, I don't know what that dude's saying. Um, yeah, she's like a sniper with it. You should lock in with knots. Michael Brown says. I'm not gonna say names. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Until I get started on the paperwork portion, I don't want to tell anybody who I have production from. That's the only thing. That's until I like lock it in. Charlie Funk, what up, brother? Good to see you, King. Good to see you. You don't have any problem. You never have to be afraid of Big Sugar as long as you in here just flowing and vibing. The only enemies of the vibe have to worry about Sugar. Only people coming in here on some ridiculous nonsense have to worry about Sugar. Everybody else, she's your best friend. If you're the enemy of the vibe, Sugar's the Terminator. But if you are a friend of the vibe and all you want to do is keep the conversation flowing and the energy going, Sugar your best friend. She's right with you. She got like this. She's actually on your side. But if you're an enemy of the vibes, it's you in the wrong spot and you in danger. You in danger. You in harm's way. And her nickname is Harm. You and Sugar's way. That's your problem. CJ, there's stuff coming. I want to be able to tell it, but I'm gonna tell it once I start like knocking it down, like really locking it down. I don't know CJ. I don't know if you know this specifically, but the album's written. Both two albums are written back to back. Two projects completely totally written. I'm still tinkering, but for the most part, they're all written. I have like a few hooks that I need to get together, a couple of bridges that I want to tighten up a little bit, but album one is 100% ready to go. If I had to lock in to a studio and not leave until the album number one was totally recorded to my satisfaction, I'd be out of there in a couple of days, maybe shorter, maybe 48 hours. If I'm being honest, if I stop to sleep, probably be out of there in 48 hours. Um, Jig Holly, not right this second, because I feel like here's the problem. Here's my problem. I attract a lot of hip hop heads, right? I get a lot of hip hop energy, real hip hop energy. With that said, producers pull up on me with fire. Um, like absolute. Hey, Tiffany Blue, good to see you. Absolute fuego, right? And the problem with that is, I hear a dope beat, I get a concept going, I start right into it, and now all of a sudden, this album that I have closed off, now I start thinking maybe I should move this song and put this song on it, and I don't like to tinker. I don't like overly cooking the soup. I've dealt with too many artists who I think overcook the soup. Like instead of just taking that song and putting it on the next album, they want to try and work that song into the project we have now, and it messes up the feng shui. And I'm so satisfied as to where this thing is right at this very. Not saying it wouldn't change, but I'm so satisfied as to where it is. I don't want to tempt fate. I don't want to hear another beat and be like, cut it right to it. The next thing I know, I'm off to the races, and now everything is pushed back because I need to finish this song to put it on. Charlie, I do, I do. But you gotta know when to say when. Oh yeah, B, I'm pulling up to whatever you do. You already know. I'm pulling up to whatever you do. Yeah, as an artist, you have Charlie, and I'm talking to you specifically because I know how you give it up. As an artist, you gotta know when to. You gotta know when to say when. You gotta know when to stop. Like stop and move. You cannot continuously because then it turns into detox. It becomes detox. It becomes this thing that you can't live up to, and nobody wants that. And I already feel a certain amount of pressure with a debut from me. Pressure is the wrong word, but I definitely have expectations I want to live up to. So I'm not trying to overcook this soup or put myself in some kind of flow anti-flow state where now I'm starting all over every second. Detox is a myth. All day. Here's the thing: we've actually had detox a couple of times. We've heard it on a Kendrick Lamar album. We had it on that Compton album. We've had it on a few Game albums. Like detox is that we've actually had detox in a couple of different iterations, but never under the actual name. But we've had, because if he puts it under detox, it now has to live up to this mythical thing, which is almost impossible to do. First of all, it has to meet the people's expectations, which is crazy because been hearing about this same album for over a decade that we've never seen. And second, it has to live up to his expectations. And I don't know if you understand. I'm sure we've all kind of figured out by now that Dr. Dre is not regular when it comes to letting things out of his vault. Oh, hold on. We got a super chat, $5 super chat. What up, though? I seen a clip of you and Dame. I think Dame might have got you, big homie. Laugh out loud. Peace and blessings, though. Clone me 12. He thinks that too. You're not alone. He thinks that too. He thinks he got me too. I have the benefit of actually being there in real time and you know, slow mo to the original. Nah, CJ, most people miss the side block. Most people miss the side block. Most people miss the. Most people miss that. So I don't even I don't even. And he's laughing. Come on, clone's laughing. It's fine. Clone, I know you. He's laughing. It's fine. But I tell you something else. That's never going away. For those of us in this room, just understand that. But clone, thank you for the super chat. Much respect. Uh, definitely one time, much appreciated. Thank you for the super chat. We thank you and thank you for supporting the channel. I got that from Charlie and B74 and Big Sugar. Thank you and L2. They and Tiffany Blue. Thank you for supporting the channel. I gotta remember to say that when that happened. Hit the likes, hit the subs, hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show your boy love. Clone, thank you for supporting the channel. Any truth to that Dr. Dre beat tape Dre working on? I've heard that too. I've heard that too, but I haven't been able to confirm it. I actually looked into that. I heard that whisper come back too. I can't confirm it. I'm mega excited if that's the case. Um, guys, should I get to the topic? Nah, clone, I ain't tripping. Clone said Clone said I didn't I didn't mean to break up your dialogue with the topic. Nah, I'm not tripping. It's not that serious. Um, I was watching a clip with I didn't watch the whole episode, so let me say that now, but I was watching the back and forth between Zip with the Drip and my boys over at Bagfield. Shout out to Esso Heineken and Space Ghost. They were having like a back and forth conversation, and it was about Zip getting at Esso because Esso deads old rappers. He's seen as the guy who can't stand to hear rappers after a certain age rap, and huge. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose because I've actually never talked to him about it, but shout out to Big Sugar, Flow State, 200 joules. Thank you, sis. Much appreciated. Um, he, I don't know if he is a conscious supporter of ageism in hip hop. It definitely feels like that though. Flow State crew, 100. It definitely feels like that as far as Esso is concerned. Like he's not really a fan of anybody over a certain age rapping. And the point is, what I started this whole thing to say that Esso is right. He's not wrong. We don't agree with each other, but he's not wrong. But I understand Esso, even though I don't. Yeah, Esso is on. Esso's grown, right? Esso's grown. I'm grown. Esso's grown. We're all grown men. I don't like the term. I wish Esso would stop using the term old. I've seen old. I worked in a dialysis clinic for a summer. I've seen old. I know what old looks like. We are not old. We allow that term to come in and we try to embrace it. But the fact is, old equals useless. Old equals outdated. Old equals unable to update or be upgraded. I've seen old. I consider you old when you can't learn anything new or when you can't do things for yourself. I've seen old. If you think 30 plus is old, you're in trouble. I've seen old. Old is closer to, for me, old is closer to 80. And even then, it depends on what kind of 80 you are. But I've seen what old looks like. But there's young and then there's grown. I am a grown man. I get called old by people who are too dumb to know the difference. But I'm grown. Esso's grown. But Esso has this thing about old ass rappers, which is he said called him a contrarian and a rage baiter. Jig Holly, I feel that. I feel you where you're coming from, but let old is not hitting that like very well done. Um, I only feel old when 9:30 comes around. I can't keep my eyes open. Clone, what did you eat? Depending on what you ate, that might be the reason. I'm looking forward to my free IHOP. I can't be mad at that. Like I don't, but that's for grown folk. Free IHOP is for grown folk. 9:30, you can't keep your eyes open. That means you was busting it down all day, or you ate something fucking fantastic. I ain't got to be 9:30 for me to want to fall asleep. Let me eat good. 5:30, I'm out of here. If I ate something dope, 5:30. Let me get. Let's put them together. Let me get the free IHOP from DJ all day, and let it be 5:30. I'm out. I might fall asleep in the booth, but I was doing that at 20. That's not new. It's grown folk stuff. Grown Michael Brown. Grown folk stuff. Here's where I say I don't agree with Esso necessarily, but I think Esso is telling the truth. And I think Esso is telling the truth that only Esso can tell. Here's what y'all don't understand about Esso. Um, Here's what y'all don't understand about Esso. Esso is a manager first. First and foremost, I don't care what art form he used to practice. I don't care what he used to do as far as like in the genre. I don't care if he used to breakdance, rap, DJ, graffiti, whatever it was. Esso is a manager. His mind moves like a manager. Esso sees dollar signs first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and might be six on a Sunday. Esso is only looking at the bread. He's not thinking about cultural relevance. He's really not thinking about the love of the game. For him, these things are just cliches and catchphrases. If I said something like "Queens get the money," shout out Sean Capri, "Queens get the money." Get that vegan food. You'll stay awake all day in the booth. Get you healthy. CJ, you're right. You're right. But I do have my. I could lie to you, but I'd be lying to you. I 100% have my vices, and IHOP is definitely one of them. Um, Nas through recent projects and his evolutionary process as man proved legendary CMC still have a voice until they choose not to. Black Silk Rose. I completely agree with you, but we would not be discussing this point of view with someone like Esso. Esso is a manager, y'all. He's a manager. And I really want y'all to understand that. Shout out to Big Sugar for the 10 gold coins. Angry Mr. Magoo says, "No, hold on. Let me shoot my bro some bail. Let me shoot my bro some bail. I know this room would have a tendency to like stand on his neck. Um, Strawberry double chocolate pancakes with scrambled eggs and such. Actually, no. Chicken fajita omelet with the three plain pancakes, buttermilk pancakes, maple syrup, and yeah, I'm off to the races right there. Give me a little bit of ketchup for the eggs, and this is happening. Why don't he quit managing and let the youngsters do it? That would Jig. Now follow me here. Follow me on that point right here. Everybody, listen. This is Jig hit the nail on the head. Jig asks, why don't he quit managing and let the youngsters do it? Here's exactly what I'm going to tell you, which is the exact same thing I would tell him if and when we were having this conversation. Esso's ability to manage has increased with his time in the game, has increased with his years in the business. He's learned more tricks. He's learned how to do it better. He's you know what I mean? He's made more connections and more contacts. He's gained more respect. He's got more access. All those things happen because of his time in the game. That's exactly why he wouldn't do it. My argument to him would be this is why MCs should not quit because they've gained more time in the game. They've gained more experience. They've got more stories. They've got more feedback. They've got more to give. They've got more to say. They've learned how to say it better. they've learned how to say it smoother. They've got access to more beats. They've got more respect. They shouldn't quit for the exact same reason I wouldn't want Esso to quit at what he does, because more time has only made him better. Esso's thing, Esso's thing is that, and I don't want to. I'm not speaking completely for him because he's not here. I don't want to put words in my bro's mouth, but I will say that my impression of what Esso is getting across is Esso is about business first, and in his experience, it's rare that a rapper over a certain age or with X amount of years in the game, or who's already experienced a certain level of success, for him, there's no reason for them to keep going because they've gotten all that they're going to get out of this thing. So they shouldn't look to make new music. They should look to rehash and keep performing their original joints. Now, me personally, I don't think you get old because I don't think you stop rapping because you get old. I think you get old when you stop rapping. I think we should be allowed to have the exact same grace that the Rock Boys get and handle your scandal. I think you should be allowed to blow up at 40 if you got one, if you got a dope record, if you got dope bars, if you if you have, real talent. I think the door should be open for anything to happen. All of this, it's a young man's game and this is for the youth. It's only never been true because there's never been a day and age where someone older wasn't behind the scenes showing people what it was supposed to be. The people who run the labels, the people who run these businesses and the places and the show promoters, they're not young men. They're not kids. They're not 19, 20. I mean, some are, sure, of course. Of course there are outliers. But behind the scenes, the people who run the radio stations, the people who run these channels and these networks and Spotify and stuff, these are grown ass adults. And that's always been what it was. Even though we tried to tell you that, even though we've had people try and say that this is a youth driven culture, the people in charge have always been grown ass adults. It's never been kids in charge. It's always been grown adults. Always. Your favorite artist was given his shot by somebody grown. Even if the A&R was the same age as him, the person that the A&R answered to was not. All that means is we shouldn't have music-based convos with business-first types. Quincy Jones produced Thriller in his 40s. Yes, Michael, I'm with you. I understand that. I do believe Esso's voice is very important. Esso brings a certain level of realism into these conversations that is 100% necessary because Esso doesn't speak from Esso doesn't speak from a cultural standpoint. Or from what how he wishes it was. I do more of that kind of talking than Esso. I tell you how I wish things were, and then I look to make moves to bring that into fruition. But Esso tells you how things are right now. It's one thing to have the app on the phone that tells you what the weather is going to be like. It's another thing to have a window that tells you what the weather is right now, and that's Esso. Esso tells you what the temperature is right now, and his whole point of view, his entire point of view, is based on his experiences. And Esso has experienced this industry, not this culture, but he's experienced the game, the industry, from a POV that most of us are not privy to. Esso has played the game at the highest level. He's done the deals for the biggest money. He's been in the rooms with the biggest hustlers. Excuse me, with the biggest execs. And they know who he is. When he starts talking, whether you like it or not, Esso is a barometer for how the industry is, not necessarily for how it's going to be, not necessarily for how it was, but how it is right now. Esso is finger on the pulse. I speak in more terms of where I think we're going, where things seem to be headed. I definitely speak more in terms of culture. He just executive coaching for peace. Yes, he just speaks strictly from the. Now he may tell you that he's speaking from other places. Again, don't let me put words in his mouth. He may tell you where he's speaking from. I'm telling you my impression of it, right? And I got nothing but like love and respect for Esso and what he does because I've been rocking with bros like him my whole run. I'm source. I'm trying not to cramp up. I'm catching these wild cramps like right here. You ever do like those diamond joints? Right here, I'm catching it, and I'm trying to get it off me. Obadiah 7. I'm gonna need you to chill. I'm gonna need you to chill. I'm gonna need you to chill out. We're speaking in a language that we have right this very second. And while I like to speak about how things could be, and you're talking about rap culture, and I'm talking about hip hop, and those are two different things. You're talking in like banana for the cramps. Yeah, a clone. I literally just said that. Sugar. I'm sure you give great everything. Garlic. Man, garlic hush. No, bro. I'm not gonna hush. This is my page. Like that was a dumb thing to say, and now this happened to you. Like that was a dumb thing to say. And here I was trying to shoot you some bail, and you followed up with something extra stupid. Like for you, Sean, it is funny, ain't it? Like it is funny. Like I don't get dudes like that. Like his first rap culture had to die off. It was killing black people. So what was killing us before rap culture? Rap culture. Plenty of stuff, dude. Like, relax. That's not rap culture. That's street culture. And street culture has always been around. And street culture is reflected in what black people do when black people make music. And when we make music, we sing and we rap. So it was reflected in both. Hustle, man, and I'm your what is I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that nigga in that alley. We've been stop, stop. Crime exists whether people are making music about it or not, man. You have to chill. You have to chill. Like and then you come in sounding super dumb. And you must have just got here because I definitely warned everybody what Sugar was gonna do. I 100% warned y'all what Sugar was going. You must have just got here. Oh dumbass. Pusher man, thank you. Violence existed before music. Thank you. Like I hate that trope. That trope. Not to mention the fact that these dudes, like, bro, why is rap getting credit for crime? Now how dumb that sounds? Crime. Why does rap get credit for crime? As if crime didn't exist before rap music. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop coming in here with that nonsense, with that dumb shit. Please don't have that argument with me. It irritates me because you sound like them. You sound like the rest of the people who are trying to blame my people, our people, us people for the bull. Like, please stop. Have you talked to D1 about this topic? Yes, I have. My fellow Aries. Yes. D1 and I, shout out to David. Shout out to D1. We chop it up whenever he gets the feeling. He knows where I am. Exact same thing. And my thing with D1 is you gotta tell me where he's lying. He's not, again, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. We have a tendency to glorify street culture and conflate it with hip hop, but that's the conversation I have with him. Like I'm not okay that street culture gets inflated over everything else when it comes to hip hop music. I'm not okay with that because there are tons of different kinds. But I'm also very honest in the expression of artists, and I'm honest in the reflection of where we are as a people. And some of us are in the streets, and some of us talk that street talk because it's a reality. And that's all I've ever asked for artists is to be honest. So if that's what they're talking, I'm not going to condemn them for it, but I am going to take issue with the things that harm us. But it's a balance. It's not all one way. It's not all the other way. It's definitely a balance. We shouldn't be addressing idiots past three comments. Charlie, forgive me. Sometimes I carried away. Dwayne, best rappers out now over 40. It's really hard to argue that. Did y'all see what Luda just did on what's his name show? Did y'all see what Luda just did? It's really hard to argue that. Um, I'm not a fan of D1. One, he's too self righteous, way too sanctimonious for my kid. Michael, I can understand that. I can understand that. I'm not here to sit here and tell you that you should be or anything else like that. What I am going to tell you is he's not lying. Again, the same honesty that I asked from Griselda is the same honesty I want from a D1. And D1, he's not like being self-righteous. He's literally telling you what he believes, and there's something there for that. There's something in that for me specifically. For an art for somebody that you can hear and they're really telling you what they think, that counts for something. He's not fronting. He's not trying to be self-righteous, but he doesn't he D1 is me if I was a hardcore Christian. There are certain things I can't sit around and just be quiet about, and D can't sit around and be quiet about this. And he's planting his flag, and boom, he can't be quiet about it. And I respect that because there are things that I can't be quiet about. But I don't know if that's an Aries thing, a Dread thing, or just a hip hop head thing. But what I can tell you is he's 100% telling the truth. That's not an act. He's not fronting. He's literally been like that since I've known him. And I've known him for going on a decade now. It's easy to stand on your square when all you have to do is open your mouth and tell the truth. And that's what the man is doing. Executive coach for peace. I want to see that. Literally just saw a carousel on IG this morning about like 15 rappers over 40 that are putting out projects. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. 504 salute. Thank you for pulling up. It's twosome. Thank you for pulling up. I want to go back and see what I missed. Will Ludacris ever get his just due as lyricist, MC, or rapper? Rodney Rose. It really depends on the circles you're in. If Luda's not getting his just due, you are in the wrong circle. Pull up in here more often. Look at how people in here talking about Luda right now. He gets his just due amongst the heads, the hip hop heads. First of all, I don't know any arena where you cannot give Luda his just due. You want to talk about selling albums? Go look at that man's track list and look at it. Look at his track record for selling albums. You want to talk about product making money? Go check that out. Selling. You want to talk about hits? Go look at Luda. You want to talk about bars? Go look at Luda. I don't know where he's not getting his just due, but if you are in a circle where Luda's not receiving his just due, leave that circle. Those motherfuckers are dumbasses, or they have not looked back far enough to realize who they're in the room with. Like you got to be careful about it. Just be careful where you kick it, because if you got the mic, say something, Sean. I hear you. Clone. Luda went crazy, but he used to go crazy on Rap City in the basement. Yo, Luda only goes crazy. Like this isn't new. Luda only goes crazy. He's not one of these dudes. Luda's pen is a professional problem. That man only goes nuts. You gotta like. I don't know when anybody started thinking it was something else. I'm glad you had that convo with D1 because sometimes it would appear how he words it that hip hop is to blame for the negativity. Hip hop is to blame for the negativity when most of what he talks about was here before rap. Yeah, like D is addressing the problem where it is, right? But my conversation with him is more along the lines of, bro, it's deeper than that. There are certain people who are pushing the narrative. That's who we need to take issue with. I understand that you don't like that this is a message that's being pushed, and you're right about that. Like that's foul, but it's also like you're gonna get mad at the symptom or the source. You can treat the symptom or you can treat the disease. There's a reason why this is being pushed. I happen to know, I happen to have been alive when Public Enemy was one of the most popular groups in the world, hip hop wise, rap wise, album chart wise, and then there was a concentrated push to get them out of the paint and bring in NWA. Like I recognized all of a sudden gangster rap became everything. And I remember when Black Power was everything before that, and Power to the People and Black Medallions, and people were proud to be, and then all of a sudden it that got exited out. There are people behind the scenes who make those things happen. And that's my discussion with D1. When we know better, we do better. But I can't get mad at D because he's fighting the good fight. He's fighting the fight on the fronts that he's on. It's really hard to get mad at somebody who's doing what they think is the right thing to do. And he's not exactly wrong. It's hard for me to find a part where D1 is lying. Yes, Mr. Duke. Yes, I've heard about that meeting. I've been looking to try and get solid evidence on it. I've been looking to get solid evidence on it. But yes, bro, like shout out to B74 for the coins. One time for Big Sugar. Thank you, Sugar. NWA had F the Police and Express Yourself on the first album. I never saw them as anti PE. The problem is the message became bigger than that, and people only were invested in the frosting. And you know what I mean? It's more than just you're speaking on what the you're speaking on what a hip hop head took from the album, and I'm speaking more along the lines of what the casuals got. I know people didn't pull up to those. The sentiment of F the Police was 100% on that was 100% real, but it was also coming from the perspective of gang members who were doing gang things, and you don't necessarily want gang members uh, to not get out from under the police. You see what I'm saying? Like again, there's duality here. There's balance. There's balance. I can't sit here and tell you one side is all the way right and one side is all the way wrong. I can tell you that niggas for life is not going to attract the exact same. A title like niggas for life is not attracting the exact same crowd as a title of Fear of a Black Planet, or it might attract the same crowd for two very different reasons with two very different purposes. You see what I'm saying? It's not one size fits all. That's kind of the discussion I have with D1 when we do chop it up. When we do chop it up about this, it's not one size fits all. But he's not wrong. The things he said, they're not wrong. He's not wrong. PE is more threatening to the establishment. That's what it's really about. Sugar's right. I'm looking for my pen. How come I can't find my pen? Because she deserves a pen drop. Shut up, Bush. You shut up. You shut up, Bush. Um, NWA topics were good, but how they said it versus how PE handled it was the issue. One, how PE would handle it is anti-establishment, right? Anti-system. How NWA would tell you to handle it would have you in the system. Two very and not to say that they wouldn't. It's the difference between the Black Panthers and the Bloods and the Crips to a certain level. Like one of them is like, we know who the common enemy is, and because we all know who the enemy is, we're all on the same side to make sure that this is the enemy that we have our fingers pointed at. The other group, it's like the man is the enemy. However, he's also the enemy. He's also the enemy. Him and that red flag, him and that blue flag, him and this flag, him and that flag. These are all my ops. These are all the enemy. You see what I'm saying? You see how that cuts up and is different. It, they're both calling for war, but one of them is like we have a the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and the other one is like, well, you're my enemy, you're my enemy, you're my enemy. It's all enemies, and then it was us eating each other. You get into some respectability politics with gang members thing. NWA was voicing real sentiment from the community. Michael Brown, it's not about the. I don't have a problem with the sentiment, and I also don't want to trot out respectability politics when I start talking about right versus wrong. I don't care if you respect. Trust me, the people who Public Enemy have a problem with, they don't hold them in high regard either. Public Enemy got called all kinds of names, and it was on a higher level. They got called all kinds of names. But let's keep it a buck here. Let's keep it a buck. One of them was on some Black Panthers type stuff, and the other one was, tearing their own community up with no real concentrated effort to go at the source of the issue. So, one of them, we can't sit here and say that they were voicing the exact same sentiment with the exact same purpose behind it. You have to acknowledge the difference. If we're being honest about it, we have to look at the difference. I always looked at the FBI purposely used propaganda to fuel gang wars in selective cities in America. Didn't Easy E go to the White House? My God, yes. And if you look at it, I don't know if you were around Push. I'm assuming I don't know if you were around Push, but the only reason I know this is because I worked at the Source magazine and I had access to one of the biggest archives of hip hop history the world has ever seen. Yes, he went to the White House and he was eaten alive for that. Eaten alive for that. Street cred goes out the window when you having dinner with Reagan. Eaten alive for that. They got at him for that. What? What? They got at him for that. Although I'm not exactly sure why. He was a street dude. He went and sat down with one of the biggest drug dealers the United States has ever seen. I never have dinner with the president. I never have dinner with the president. I never have dinner with the president. And if I ever see your ass again, I'll be hesitant. The FBI wrote a letter on behalf of so-called law enforcement to NWA ruthless records after police were still. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you notice they didn't write any letters about anything else they had to say. Just that one. Just the one that called for being anti the man. Something that Public Enemy would probably be down with. Just that one. They never had an issue with the rest of them. Just that one. Notice. Notice. They had many more albums after F the Police. They never had it. FBI never had anything else to say. But when they thought that they were galvanizing people against law enforcement or against when they thought that this group with this massive voice was galvanizing the people, the street element to unify against a common foe. They were sending letters. PE's damn near whole all their albums were like that. Galvanizing people against a common foe. You see what I'm saying? You see how subtle the difference is? But it's still a difference. NWA for me at the time was like CNN for the hood, especially in the West Coast at the time. Living in BK, we didn't know much about Cali on that level. Black Silk Rose 777. I 100% agree with you. This predates the internet. So if you didn't have family out in California, there's no way you would know how they were giving it up out there. I literally just had this conversation. You would have no clue how they would give how they were living life out there. In New York, we didn't have gangs, we had crews. It was different. And your crew could vary from block to block to block to block. We had crews that became gangs, like in that regard, but they didn't necessarily have colors like the low lives, the deceps. Like it wasn't, this versus this. But then when you go look at Cali now, and again, civilian talking, civilian talking. When I hear about how many different sets of gangs there are now, it's like crews. It sounds like crews. This neighborhood, that neighborhood. Those are crews, but they all got one thing in common, and we didn't have that on the East Coast. Mac, do you feel BDP was somewhat in between NWA and PE because they had stopped the violence but also had criminal minded? Yes, yes, but I think they leaned more towards PE than they did NWA. But yes, 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 yes. To answer your question, yes, 100%. Matter of fact, 100%, 100%. I'm sorry, what? My dad just went into labor. What? Yeah, Grace. What? I'm sorry. We're on comment number one, number two, and number three. And that's it. I can't talk about that anymore. That's the end of that. BDP was a balance. I think I would also give a nod to Paris. I would give a nod to oh, there's a dude who I can see his face. Not Paris, it's another dude. Dead Prez, I would give that nod to. Um, who else? There's another guy. There's a West Coast group for me. It wasn't even a West Coast group. It was one dude. Oh, I can see his and the ones just kicking it in between, gang related. You know what I mean? I got love for him. Who was that? Who said that? Whose bars is that? Who said that? Cam. Cam. Cam, thank you. Thank you, Michael Brown. Thank you. And I see somebody else. Everybody was trying to Christopher Wilson and Cameron with trying to say it. Cam. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I want to know the name of that song. Cam still get busy. Yeah, no, Cam had thank you, Big Sugar. Thank you. I caught on after the fact. Cam, yes indeed. The homie Cam. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Cam. There it is. 1993, artist Cam album Never Again. The song was Still Got Love for Him. Yes. X Clan had a part two. X Clan had a part two. With a key. This vainglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroads with the key. If you heard that last part in your head, you are initiated. If you heard that last part in your head, if you heard it when I said it, you are initiated. And your childhood and your background in music was probably fire. You probably heard some of the best there was. If you heard that part in your head, if I didn't even have to finish it, and you heard it in your head when I hit that part, of course you didn't, Seven. You know what it is. Of course. If all I'm saying is if when I said at the crossroad with a key and stop and you finished it in your head, it just finished. You didn't even have to say it out loud, and you heard that voice. I salute you with both hands. Yeah. Hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show your boy love. Executive. Yeah, I see it. I see everybody putting it in here. I see everybody putting it in here. One time. One time. Thank you, Big Sugar. Thank you, Big Sugar. Time, what up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Seven, thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gold coins. Much appreciated. Want to see the shirt make yeah, okay. I don't know if y'all can make it out. It's thou shalt not touch my hair. It's like a gag shirt, but it's kind of funny. Um yeah, I got it as a joke. It's funny. It was automatic. I almost ran in my closet to go get my Bally's. Good God. Good God. If you're getting Bally's, you might as well pull the Casells out too, assuming you got a pair. Salute, salute. Chamber, Bag Fuel was right about we were speaking this a little earlier. We were talking about. Thought it said Deuteronomy. No, it doesn't say Deuteronomy. Um, uh, British walkers. Good God, British walkers. I ain't mad. I might go get me a pair of Cassells. I might go get me some DMCs. I might go ahead and grab those. My man said British walkers though. If you know, you know. My man said British walkers. I'm just picturing them now. Like my man said British walkers. I ain't even mad. It's the East Coast Stacey Adams. British walkers. Salute, Big Sugar. Thank you for the 10 jewels. Gold coin jewels. Thank you. Salute to Dana Dana Slick Rick. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh boy. Yeah, we having a good time in here. I did not think that was gonna work. My God, I think that was gonna work. Okay, my bad. No, Sugar's right. I got a call, but I actually got a call from an attorney, so I have to go and handle this. This is like more of that music stuff I was talking about. No, Chamber, you're right. I got a phone call, but I got to bounce. So let me call him back. But first things first, did not want to just jump ship and leave y'all high and dry like that. We are having a great time. Sugar is always right. When in doubt, ask Sugar. Brothers and sisters, mothers and misters, boys and blisters, I want to thank y'all for pulling up to the garage home of the Worldwide Mechanics. As always, hype, like Worldwide Mechanics. As always, hype, likes, and subs is how you show your boy love. I want to thank y'all again for pulling up with me today. 5 p.m. tomorrow, I'm pulling right back up here. Let's do it all over again. We can get more into the backfield stuff if you want. In the meantime, in between time, go into the comments. Tell me what you think. Let's keep this conversation flowing. I'm jumping right back in as soon as I get off with this attorney. But yes, long story short, I always see Esso's point. I see exactly where he's coming from. And I think if we understood him a little bit more and understood his POV, it wouldn't come across as abrasive as it does. It wouldn't come across as foul as some people seem to think it is. But the man does have a point, just like NWA, just like D1, just like Public Enemy, just like me, just like you. Just different points. Everybody be safe. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Oh, and throw one up for Just, and all the good folks out there dealing with that storm. She had to sign off. She'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Pull back up in here and make sure she's good. Everybody be good. Everybody be solid. The garage is now officially closed for the evening. Y'all be safe. Peace.